All right. So I'm Kurt Lin, co-founder and CEO of Pinwheel. I should note that you might find another Curtis out there. My co-founder is named Curtis Lee. We had a coin flip and I lost the coin flip. So I'm Kurt and he's Curtis, but we are two separate people in case you happen to see him out in the world. Um, Pinwheel is solving a very important problem and near and dear to me, which is I grew up the son of two Taiwanese immigrants. And I'm sure like many of you, my dad is your like typical traditional Asian dad. No emotions, very stoic, and generally very hard to read. And I remember growing up, there was a moment when I first realized that this man could actually show real emotions besides anger and disappointment, which was right around when I was 8 or 9. I went with him to go get a mortgage for the first time. I didn't actually know I was a kid. I was like, we're just going to the bank. Wow. And we went to the bank and he got rejected for his first mortgage. And then we went to three separate banks after and he got rejected from all those too. And it was the first time in my life that I'd seen this man truly like he was on the verge of tears. It was like really upsetting to him because he was a physician. It's not like he didn't have money, but the system just didn't work in the way that it needed to for him. And so that memory has always stuck with me. And then when we started Pinwheel, we realized that that problem exists because the systems that store that information don't talk to the systems that need that information to actually make decisions. And so the problem that we're solving is fairly universal. 22% of Americans are underbanked. Almost 80% live paycheck to paycheck. And nearly 2/3 either have a bad credit score or no credit score at all. And the problem is, as I mentioned, where that data sits doesn't connect to where that data has to go. And that's what Pinwheel does. So locked away in all these income and payroll systems are really, really important pieces of information like who you are, how much you make, where you work, what you pay in taxes, etc. That data needs to go to the banks, the fintechs, all the ones who are actually building products in order to actually deliver value for our customers. So let's make this very, very real. Our platform enables a whole host of products, but I'm going to talk about four main ones. Number one is a deposit switch. If any of you have recently opened a bank account, or if you started a new job and you had to update your deposit settings, most people are still taking a paper form and going to their employer and saying, hey, can you update my settings, right? The problem with that is obviously really high friction, and worse yet, it actually prevents people from switching banks. And what we do is we make it super, super simple with a single click to move from one bank account to another bank account, which drives competition in the banking ecosystem and ultimately delivers better outcomes for consumers. That's number one. Number two, earning stream. One of the biggest problems that exists in this world today is that people work a shift but don't get paid until 2 weeks later. Wild. That is wild. You were literally giving your employer a free loan for those next a week and a half until you actually get your paycheck, right? And what happens is people run out of money in between those paychecks, and then they have to go to payday lenders and other predatory providers in order to make ends meet, right? What we do with Earning Stream is we give banks and fintechs data every single day. Kurt has logged in and logged out of his shift at Chipotle, and they can then give them their day's pay right away with no risk. And that's the power of having the data when you need it at the hands of the actual product builder, right? Thirdly, taxes. Show of hands, who here enjoys filing their taxes? That's impressive. Let's talk later. Because I'm looking for someone and I think you can help me. Most people don't, right? And the reason for that is because it's a huge pain in the ass and it's really complicated. What we do is we take the W-2 data that sits in the payroll system and puts it into the hands of an H&R Block or a TurboTax or whatever, so they can automatically solve those problems for themselves. And then verify very quickly is basically seamless income verification, so you don't ever have to download your pay stubs or W-2s to go apply for a loan. It happens automatically in the background, so you get immediately approved. This is what the flow looks like. I think I'm close on time, so I'm going to just skip past this piece. I know there's investors in the room, so I'm not going to give you the exact number, but I can tell you that revenues in 8 figures and growing 2x last year and on track for 3x this year. Here's a list of our customers. We process over $25 billion of deposits. We have about 50-ish people here in New York and another 50-ish across the country. We've raised 77 to date from some awesome investors. Don't tell anyone, there's a lot of more investors that did not make the cut here, but that's too bad. And then last but not least, I love my team. They're awesome. We have a lot of fun, but we also are really, really mission driven and excited about the work that we do. Some formatting issues here, but data engineering, product and integration engineering as well, and then product, RevOps, and sales as well. Sorry, the 57 is out of date. And that's it. If you want to talk, I'll be around. I don't have a shiny clothes though.